Hi there, this is Sapphire Fiero. So I got an email earlier today, and as you often know, when I get emails, they inspire me to do these videos to help other couples, help the couple that sent me that video, and help the couples that are out there that haven't necessarily reached out to me. My purpose in life has always been to empower and empower couples, empower women. Particularly because I believe that when we empower a woman and we empower a couple, we empower their children, we empower society, and we empower us as a human race. So the topic for today is why change? I've run into so many couples lately who have been obsessed with changing their spouse or their partner. It just seems so ridiculous to me. And I'm sorry, anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty straightforward. But when you want to change your spouse or your partner, you're committing marital or relationship suicide. That's the bottom line. Here's the thing, you fell in love with that person for who they are when you met them. And once you get to know them, once the honeymoon phase is over and you start to realize that, you know what, I don't really like that about that person, then you think you're entitled to change them. That's ridiculous. Why? I agree with self empowerment and growing to our maximum potential, but I've, I don't believe and I don't think I've ever seen a couple that that's worked for. Couples come into my office all the time trying to change their spouse. In the very first session, I see a lot of finger pointing. And I always say, when you point your finger at your spouse, four are pointing back at you, right? So avoid that. When you try and change your spouse, this is your future. You're committing relationship suicide because as you try and change that in them, they lose the essence of who they really are. And you fell in love with them as they are. Sure, we all present ourselves in our best form in the first few months, but eventually our demons come out. Trying to change those is suicide because when you try and change that in somebody else, especially if it's through humiliation, it backfires. You end up living with somebody who you don't know, who you don't like, far less love. So be very careful with that. If there's something about your spouse or partner that you don't like, it's important to discuss that with them. Give them reasons of when you do that, it affects me like this, and I would like to see more of that. Does that make sense? So you're making a suggestion. You're not the almighty authority to want to change somebody. You're making a suggestion because you see the potential in that person. And trust me, I know what it's like to look at somebody and see the potential and want to bring that out in them. That's why I do what I do. But you're not the person to be the almighty authority to want to change something. You're the person to inspire creation, to inspire growth, to inspire development. That's how you create change. It's not through humiliating somebody. It's not through criticizing somebody. It's not through calling them out on their shit without any background or fundamental evidence to show, hey, maybe if you went for a exercise, jog around the block with me. Maybe if you went for a bike ride around the block with me, we could connect more. That's speaking somebody's language versus saying, you need to lose weight. Go for a run and I'm going to follow behind you to make sure you burn those calories. That's not creating change. That's creating resentment. The last thing you want to do in a relationship is create resentment against you. You want to create potential. You want to create thrive. You want to create development. And how you do that is through inspiration. That's very different. So people will ask me, so how do I create that inspiration in my partner? Well, learn their love language. Is it physical contact? Is it gifts? Is it quality time? Is it acts of service? Is it contact? What is it? If you know their love language, then you can speak it and you can create and develop human personal development versus through criticism, which creates resentment, which creates relationship suicide. If you want more information, log on below, like the video, share it with somebody you might think it would be useful for, and you can reach out. My webpage is zapphire@zapphire.ca. Or sorry, that's my email, but my webpage is zapphire.ca. And I'm happy to give you more information on that. Be well, be safe.